Welcome to the Goldfield Hotel. The 154-room hotel was built in 1908 atop an abandoned gold mine. It is believed that years ago, the former owner, George Winfield, got a prostitute named Elizabeth pregnant. When she started to show, he locked her in room 109 and chained her to the radiator. Once she gave birth, the baby was thrown down an old mine shaft in the basement, and Elizabeth was left in a tiny room to die. The ghost of Elizabeth has shown up in many photographs. Downstairs, in George's room, cigar smoke is smelled and his presence is felt. Also near the foot of the lobby staircase, the ghost of a midget and two small children have been observed. In the gold room, a presence is felt that is said to be stab people. A presence is also felt on the third floor in the Roosevelt room. The Goldfield Hotel, now abandoned, is said by psychics to be one of only 7 doorways to the other side that still exist today.
In '05, the original hotel, it was wooden, and this one was built and completed in 1908 at a cost of $450,000. And there were 154 rooms in the hotel. Not all of them had baths, and there were a bunch of suites. It was one of the finest hotels west of the Mississippi. All of the ceilings in here and in the bar area were 23-karat gold. That's all that's left of it. And the food rivaled anything in New York. I was bureau chief for a newspaper here for 15 years when I was younger, and the old people, now I'm old, would tell me about their parents or grandparents staying here and how fancy it was. The pineapples on the old elevator were painted on there for a movie, Cherry 2000, that was done here. We've probably had maybe 15 since I've been here. I moved here in '78. There's probably been 15 or more real movies here, and I have done a jillion TV documentaries in here for every channel you can think of. But I'm retired now and I don't do this. I'm just doing it for some friends of mine who asked to come in today. But I do it very, very rarely now. We are going to be making 2 movies here in July, 2 separate movies, and they're both horror movies, of course, with the ghosts in the hotel. And the elevator was one of the first electric elevators west of the Mississippi. But that basically is the food here was quail, everything you can imagine, and the chefs didn't even speak English. They were imported from Europe.
Is that right?
We're invited from Reno. Somebody special was there, and Channel 8 came down with all the cameras, and myself and 2 other people from Goldfield were invited to see this wonderful thing. And I'm sitting here in an easy chair, and my 2 friends were sitting over there, and the psychics hadn't gotten here yet. The people from Vegas were here, and there was a big tall camera back, the old TV cameras, those great big heavy ones on tripods. It was sitting right here, and he moved it over, put it in front of me, and he says, "Now watch that for me, Virginia," because I wasn't going on the pre-tour. Everybody left. They went out there to the ghost room and all that. They came back, they walk up the stairs, and the camera started pushing over on me. And I was trying to hold it back, and I was pushing so hard that it was summer, and I popped my big toes through my pantyhose with the pressure trying to keep it off of me. And they heard the other 2 hollering, and the people came down, and the lady who was living here put her hand on the camera and said, "Stop it, George," and it stopped. That was my first experience. And what I did was, so I wouldn't spoil her big deal for TV with my little deal that just came up, I excused myself and went home. Now, there's energy right there. I can feel a breeze in that room. But you can go all down them. Oh, there's another one. And they vary, and that's the room people are in right now. The ghost. I assume that's what it is. Woo! That's the 2nd floor. Anyway, it's kind of fun to go along all of them, and you can feel the different vibrations and chill. It's also where I get most of my energy out of that room. But on the way down there, if say 2 or 4 of you walk at a time and kind of smell. You can normally smell a violet or a lavender cologne. And Chris Fleming, the woman kept spraying him till his eyes watered, and she followed him all over this floor, spritzing him with cologne. This is a psychic from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So 2 or 4 of you at a time walk down slowly, and you can smell that, and then stop, and we'll go in eventually in the ghost ring. Now come in here, close your eyes, and walk very slowly to the window. Close your eyes and walk very slowly to the window. That is the pass-through. Okay, wait. That's the pass-through. See how we went right to it? It closed. You just stand right here and shake your hand. Get a little energy in them. Open your hands. It comes over at 5 o'clock and it was still barely light. And I had 2 friends and their friend who was unmarried, and one of the cops from here who was unmarried. I thought I'd do a little match there and entertain her a little better than normal. So we came up, so that made 6 of us, 5 of us. We came up, got to here on the 3rd floor, and all of us stood here and looked down, and smoke was going billowing at the end of the hall. And I turned real quick to go down to call the fire department, and the cop from here grabbed my arm and he says, "Wait a minute, that's not fire." And I turned back around, and the smoke dissipated down here. Right here, and a man materialized, and he was very tall. He was all in black. He had a black hat, kind of like a white earth hat that was one piece crushed in the middle. And he had about an inch of glow, iridescent glow, over his whole body. He looked at us. He came over here, crossed his arms, and looked at us. And we're standing down there. And I said, "Who are you?" "Nothing." "What do you want?" I asked him a jillion questions, and he just stayed here. And I got tired of asking questions and him not answering. None of us thought to come down and touch. We just went on upstairs, and when we came back down, he wasn't there. I don't know. We were so stunned. It wasn't frightening, but we were so stunned that not one of us thought to go down and get close.
Let's take a walk around this open fields that only lead back to your door. I will not curse the days that I'm with you. I fear the days that I'm alone. I do declare it took a long time to be so kind and to feel fine on this wide and open fields that only lead back to your home. She brings me flowers and she brings me bread and takes the night time to herself. These happy days with you I won't forget, and days without you I regret. I do declare